Hello, my name is Kevin with DocuTrack Technical Support. The subject of today's video is backing up your Office Therapy database. So let's get started. If you're running on a Windows XP or Win 7 machine, what you'll want to do is go to the Start button, go to Programs or All Programs, and navigate to the QuickDoc and Office Therapy Database folder. Within that folder, you will see the Office Therapy DB Manager and the QuickDoc DB Manager. So we want to launch the Office Therapy DB Manager. Now, I also want to show how to launch this if you are running a Windows 8 machine and you don't have a Start button. So I'm going to exit this for a moment and go to the Metro screen within Windows 8. In order to launch the DB Manager without clicking anything, just start typing DTI, and once you start typing DTI, you'll be confronted with these selections, one of which is the Office Therapy DB Manager. So you want to click that, and that will, of course, launch it on the desktop. So let's go ahead and back up the database. So you'll see the list of icons on the left-hand side of the screen. We want to click on the Backup Database icon. From there, you're confronted with three fields to populate: the server name, database name, and the backup name. So what we want to do is just click on the refresh button next to the server name, give it a few seconds, and what it will do is auto-populate that field with the name of your computer or the server computer and the SQL Server instance. We also want to do the same thing with the refresh button next to the database name, and it will populate that field. If you have multiple Office Therapy databases, you can, using the drop-down, select the appropriate database that you want to back up. In this case, I want to back up the OT-KJO database. You'll notice that the backup name is also auto-populated with the name of the database appended with today's date. And it's important to keep that so that you don't inadvertently overwrite your database files. This date stamp keeps the database backup file name unique. So we want to go ahead and click Start Backup. And you'll notice this backs up very quickly. That Office Therapy database is very small. So the database backup is successful. You'll notice that you're also given the location of the backup file. In this case, since this machine actually is a Windows 8 machine, the location of the database backup file is C:/programs x86 /Microsoft SQL Server, MS SQL, and so forth. If you're running Windows XP or Windows 7, the location in all likelihood will be C:/program files without the x86 /Microsoft SQL Server, MS SQL.1, MS SQL, and backup. So what we're going to do is navigate to that location. So let's click OK, and I'm going to exit the Database Manager. Once again, if you're running on a Windows XP or Windows 7 machine, you'll want to go to the Start button and go to Computer or My Computer, and double-click to open up your C drive. What I'm going to do, since this is Win 8, I want to show how to open up that location on a Windows 8 machine. So from the Metro screen, just type in Computer. You don't need to click anything, just start typing COM, and you'll be confronted with these options. Just click on Computer, and it will launch My Computer, and you can open up the C drive from there. So we want to navigate to the location of the backup file. So we'll open up the C drive. In this case, if you'll remember, the location is underneath the Program Files x86 folder. So I will open that up, scroll down to Microsoft SQL Server. Within that folder, MS SQL.1, and within that folder, MS SQL. After you open up MS SQL, you'll see a series of folders, one of which is the backup folder. So let's open up the backup folder, and there you'll see the backup that we just ran, the OT KGO backup dated 1/13. So what we want to do is copy that file to an external hard drive. And the reason we want to do that, if something were to happen to your C drive, to your local hard drive, you want to make sure that you don't also lose the backup file, your database backup file, so that you can copy this file to an external thumb drive, a USB attached thumb drive, or an external hard drive, or to a file share on another computer. In this case, what we're going to do is copy this to another computer. Before I do that, though, I want to make a shortcut to this location on your disk so that you don't have to navigate down through that entire folder structure. So in order to do that, if you go up one level, you right-click on the backup folder, go to Send To, then down to Desktop, Create Shortcut. What that will do is create a shortcut to that backup folder on your C drive. So let's test that out. I'll close this location and I will open up the backup folder, and you'll see it does indeed take us back to that location. So I'm going to go ahead and copy, right-click, copy, and in this case I'm going to copy the file to another machine on our network, the SB Server 02, the X drive. So I'll open up the X drive, and I have a folder on this drive called For Kevin. I'll open that. I've also created a backup offline folder, so I will open that folder and right-click and paste that file into this location. And you'll see the copy complete, and indeed the file has been copied to the backup offline folder. You'll also notice that the file also still exists on your C drive, but you want to make sure that you do indeed copy the file to an external device just as a fail-safe measure. I hope you have enjoyed this video and have a great day.